Welcome to the Film Obsessed Couple. I'm Shelley.
And I'm Scott.
And we really appreciate everyone choosing us to listen to. Scott and I are a married couple obsessed about movies. Scott is more analytical, while I'm a little bit more open-minded. We're unscripted and unfiltered, which means things might get a little wild and crazy, so buckle up.
Yeah, today is going to be pretty crazy, although I don't think we can top last week's episode, Rebel Moon Part 2, but we have topped it in how terrible it is.
Yeah.
So we are talking about Dragon Ball Evolution today. This was my pick. I actually did see it in theaters during the time when I was watching movies for free. Didn't have to pay for it until we rented it the other day to watch this. But yeah, I will say that I'm a huge Dragon Ball Z fan. I have watched it a ton when I was in school, middle school to high school. And then Dragon Ball Super came out years and years later, and I finally just sat down and watched it. Not as familiar with it because I've only gone through it once. So, I could probably tell you every little detail of Dragon Ball Z.
Wow.
Dragon Ball, the first series, which this is based on, only have seen a little bit of. Because I used to watch it on this thing called Toonami in the afternoons where they would air, like, anime. And they would show Dragon Ball, but it would only get to a certain point and then reset back to the first episode.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, so I don't know. Because I think when I was in middle school / high school, they were releasing new episodes for America of Dragon Ball Z. So maybe it hadn't been aired yet or something, but
Oh, maybe.
I did decide to try and go through Dragon Ball, and maybe I'm just a little older now, but it is a little rough.
Oh, is it?
it's good. I'm on the Red Ribbon Army saga. And, yeah, it's, it is what it is. But I am excited because I would love to get to the King Piccolo saga, which is what this movie is based on. And that's my history with Dragon Ball, so let's hear about yours.
It will take 2 seconds. Not much.
Yeah, I know, I figured. And I was just like, oh boy, I hope you understand this because this movie's terrible, and I hope you get, like, kind of the idea of what this is about.
Yeah, I know of it, and I know the spiky hair guy, which I know is Goku, but I just learned that.
Yeah, I've been drilling you for days.
Yeah. But that's it.
Yeah. And that's fine. That's fine. And I was kind of telling you while the movie was going, I'm like, so Dragon Ball was like Goku is a little kid. And this, they've decided to age him up into a teenager in high school, but yet still keep him acting like a little kid.
That's true. That's kind of weird. But I think it's almost because which you still shouldn't act like a kid because he's going to public school.
Yeah, because in Dragon Ball, Goku's kind of like, he's uninformed. He's been taught by his Grandpa Gohan, who is in this movie. But he's kind of been like by himself because I don't know if they say he was found, I think. But in Dragon Ball, is basically he is an alien from a different planet. He's a Saiyan, as they say. Never said in this movie, I don't think. But he crash lands on Earth. His grandpa finds him as a little baby and raises him and trains him like in kind of remote area of... the gritty details, again, kind of escape me. Are we in Japan? I'm assuming we're in kind of like a future city, almost. Yeah. But Goku really hasn't had much experience with people, and so like when he first sees a car, he sees Bulma at the very beginning of the first episode of Dragon Ball. She's driving kind of like this motorcycle type thing. He thinks it's like a creature trying to kill him.
That's cute.
Yeah, so, but this, he's going to school, but yet he still doesn't understand quite a bit.
Like how to interact with humans.
Yeah, exactly. And is that the actor?
Is that how they're trying to portray him, or is that just the actor?
Yeah, this whole thing of him going to school and stuff really kind of happens later in Dragon Ball Z, where Goku's son Gohan actually does end up going to school and becoming very smart. He kind of gives up on his training, which it sucks because he was like even more powerful than Goku, but yeah, this is going to be a long episode. But Gohan goes to school and gives up on his training and becomes very academic, but Goku is just more interested in like fighting, finding someone stronger than he is, and learning how to beat him.
Okay.
So because again, I haven't made it to the King Piccolo saga in the anime, but basically what happened is King Piccolo, another alien, they actually go to the planet in Dragon Ball Z. Are you following this okay? You just looked at me. I'm
thrilled.
like... I was like,
That's awesome.
did you just snore a little bit? But King Piccolo's from another planet, and he is like evil. I won't go into the whole details of how he came to be, but he was stopped and captured in a rice cooker, from what I was reading earlier today.
Wow.
But in this, we hear that he is just an evil kind of demon lord, which he is supposedly in the anime.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of monk type men came together and captured him, and he almost brought the earth to destruction, and now he's back.
Okay. I don't know why all these bad guys like to destroy the world.
Yeah, I don't know. Everything is destroying the world now, even in these Marvel movies. Or this one wasn't, but in that Spider-Man movie with Andrew Garfield, where he fights the lizard's thing is he wants to turn the entire world into lizards. And my friend Andrew was like, why the whole world?
Yeah. Why all of
Why
it?
is it always the world's going to be destroyed? So that's a little bit of the backstory. Another bit of backstory I should give you here is that this world has Dragon Balls.
Mm-hmm.
There's 7 of them, and once you get them together, you can summon the dragon Shenlong, and you can make a wish. And once you do, the Dragon Balls scatter, and then for another year, you won't be able to make another wish, and you have to go and find them again.
Yeah.
So that's kind of Piccolo's deal in this movie, is he is searching for the Dragon Balls.
So we can make a wish.
To make a wish. They don't say it in the movie, though, do they? Is it like world domination, I'm assuming?
We may get to it in my notes, but I don't remember.
I don't think they do. I know he does in the anime. I was reading up a little bit about it so I could be a little more informed. I think he does make a wish. But so that's the whole backstory. We got this guy Piccolo going around. He's mainly in like this airship in the sky for most of the movie, flying around looking for balls.
Aren't we all?
And Dragon Balls every now and again.
I know I put my balls somewhere. Where are they at?
So we now get introduced to Goku, who is a 17 to 18-year-old boy. They are his grandpa Gohan. He and Gohan are like standing on these sticks in the middle of their garden, like trying to push each other off with what they call, and they do say it in the show, ki, Ki. It's like your body's energy, your natural energy.
Isn't he doing the narration too?
Yeah, because I think it starts where it's like, the first rule is, there are no rules.
Mm-hmm.
And this actually does come up in the show. This movie starts with Goku sweating, an image of him sweating for like 30 minutes. It like focuses on his face.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, you get that in the show.
Okay.
You really see like people's up close faces.
It did look a little cartoonish.
Yeah. So, surprise, surprise, Gohan kicks the shit out of Goku and knocks him off these wires. And you think you would let him win because it is Goku's birthday today.
Oh, man.
Which he is 18. And Gohan's like, well, I'll have a big discussion with you when you turn 18. And that discussion is you got to getting. You got to get out. Get to stepping.
Move on. I need my space.
And another reason why you think Goku is such a baby in this is because he asked his grandpa, he's like, can you teach me how to get the girl?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, God. And Gohan's
Does
like,
your grandpa have a girl? No.
yeah, do you see any women around here?
No, he doesn't even know how to get a girl. How's he supposed to teach you?
Yeah, it's like the one thing I don't know how to do. Do you see that? Are we genetically related? No, I have never had sex. I'm hoping once you turn 18, you find a girlfriend. She brings a friend who's open-minded enough for an older man. We'll get introduced to the Dragon Balls here. Gohan does give Goku the 4-star Dragon Ball, and he's like, hey, look at this. This is our heirloom, and it's yours now. You're 18, I guess. I don't know.
But he doesn't quite understand what it is at this point, right?
Yeah, it's basically like in Rebel Moon where they get the banners. They're kind of like, well, what am I supposed to do with this?
He's like, oh, wow. If there was 2, you could do the, like...
The hands.
Your hands.
I used to have some of those. They're not Benoit balls, are they?
I'm not sure.
I used to have some that you'd hit them together. They would clang.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just...
Exercise your hand and stuff.
Maybe I should get more. Does that help you with guitar? I don't know.
Mm.
So Goku's getting the shit kicked out of him at school, of course.
Yeah.
Bullies are beating him up. We see, Chi-Chi, who is his wife, girlfriend in the comics, then eventual wife, is watching him and She's the girlfriend of the big bully who beats him up a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
And while this is happening, we do see, King Piccolo going to different villages and getting Dragon Balls. He has this woman, her name is Mai, which that is a character in the anime, but she is not his like underling, from what I understand at least.
Oh.
But I called her Boob Woman because her outfit has like a window for her cleavage to show out.
Yeah, she's also got a very bad wig.
Oh God, yeah.
And I thought it was funny. The first time we see her, she like kicks this door open and then it slams back on her. And I'm like, oh, that's hilarious.
The door was supposed to open.
Like, who was supposed to make that stay open?
I thought, you have spring-loaded doors here? What the hell is that? Basically, there's a woman in this village who's hiding the Dragon Ball. King Piccolo shows up, and he's basically like, hey, I heard you got some balls here. I need more balls.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all for that scene.
7 to be exact.
Yeah, 7 total. This woman plays an integral part in the ending of the movie. Remember this woman, because during the post-credits scene, she will come back, and you will be like me, you'll be like, who is that? And so we cut back to school with Goku, and the teacher's talking about like solar eclipses, and there's going to be a big solar eclipse in the next few days. Everybody mark your calendars for that. I'm sure that's going to come out at the end of the movie. And he says, Goku. And Goku's like, what? Because he's fantasizing about Chi-Chi. Go figure.
Oh, right.
But he's like, Goku, what would the ancestors say about the solar eclipse? And I'm like, ancestors?
Like, what? That's a weird question.
That's a weird way to phrase it. And Goku's like, well, my grandpa... He said, my grandpa would tell us to beware of the Namex. And he pronounces it like Namex, which is not correct. But he's like, they destroyed the Earth 2,000 years ago. And of course, everyone's laughing. And I'm like, so Goku's basically the kid who's reciting being like, well, my parents told me the Earth is flat.
He's like Waterboy.
Oh, yeah. My mama said.
Yeah, Waterboy. My mama said.
Yeah. Alligators are so unhappy because they got so many teeth or whatever he says. But it just made me laugh where he's like, Goku, what do you think about the Earth? And it's like, well, Grandpa says that it's flat, and scientists have been lying to us for years. Yeah, that's how your kids sound. I'm sorry if there's anybody that listens who thinks the Earth's flat. That's how your children sound when they go to school.
Yeah, and I tell you, that's one way to get the teacher to never ask you a question again. Unless he just wants entertainment.
Dude, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
If I was smart enough back then, I should have done that.
Because if I was the teacher, I'd be like, oh my gosh, this poor kid's going to get beat up because this is the stupidest answer I've ever heard in my life.
Wow, if I didn't care about my social standing back then and just trying to like fit in, I would have done that to never be called on again.
Absolutely, yeah.
What did they say about the World War II, Scott? They said the Namex destroyed World War II 2,000 years ago. Like, oh.
It's all a conspiracy theory brought on by politics.
Well, Alex Jones says that it's a conspiracy theory, much like Sandy Hook. And so Chi-Chi's trying to get into her locker later at school, and she can't. And Goku's like, I'm going to use my key to open up this locker. And he overdoes it and opens every single locker. And she catches up to him and is like, you used your key. That's amazing. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And this is a nod to the fans, I imagine. She says, just because my name's Chi-Chi doesn't mean I'm stupid. Because that's the conversation you always had where you're like, Chi-Chi, that's so dumb. Like, Chi-Chi, it sounds, like, isn't that boobs or something? It's coming back to me. Okay, Chi-Chi means breast in Spanish. But Chi-Chi has invited him to her party that she's got going on later tonight. Which sucks because later we see Gohan is making, like, the biggest amount of food for...
Yeah.
And I don't know what he's making, but it looks strange.
But it's for his birthday. It's for Goku's birthday that they're going to celebrate.
Yeah, he's making a ton of food, yeah, and they're gonna celebrate, and we get a little bit of a joke here because Goku is in his bedroom trying to get his hair to lay down. He puts a bunch of gel in it, and the gel just flies right out.
Oh, that's so funny.
And you know what's never explained in the show? His hair. It just sticks out.
It's just spiky.
Which his hair in this movie looks terrible.
Absolutely, yeah, it does.
Looks like someone purposely tried to make it stand up instead of it naturally being messy.
It also makes him seem like this is his first day of school. Like, he doesn't know these people, really. Like,
yeah.
Except for Chi-Chi, because he's eye-Googling her, and I don't know, I just felt like, wait, this seems like his first day. He's getting picked on which maybe isn't daily thing.
Yeah.
But it just seemed brand new to me.
Yeah, there's no suggestion that he knows these bullies.
Mm-hmm.
It's, yeah, you could say the character development in this movie is terrible.
It is. Yeah.
And so, for some reason, Goku decides to take the Dragon Ball with him to this party. Like he's going to put it in a sock and hit one of these bullies in the head with it.
As he should have. But he can't use his ki.
Yeah.
Or any of his powers, I guess, according to his grandpa. Don't do that. You don't beat people up. It's rude.
But Grandpa, what if they're beating me up?
Yeah, no.
Just take it, Goku.
Take the higher ground. Be the adult.
As our ancestors once said, turn the other cheek. So go figure, Goku tries to get into the party and all these bullies are like, I don't think so, kid. New kid.
Yeah.
They should have been like, new kid. I don't know. That maybe would explain how he doesn't know anything. He's like, hi, I'm 18 and I'm here on the last day of school. This is my first day. Grandpa says Namek's destroyed the place. Like, oh, there's a new homeschooled kid, all right.
Yeah, the principal said I just had to come for one day, and if I could make it through one day of school, then I could graduate.
Gohan's rich and paid him a lot of money. They all start fighting, but Goku beats them by not fighting.
Yes.
He dodges out of the way. The bullies are hitting each other. He does this. I pointed it out to you, but he slides on his head across the car.
Yeah.
He's like, eek, 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 and it's so bad.
It looked awful. And I mean, I get that this is coming from a cartoon, so it's going to be a little weird. But it's just like, I also feel like it kind of needed to be somewhat realistic in a fantasy kind of way.
Yeah, I think it would have been better if they tried to make it more realistic.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like the Matrix. Matrix, they're flying. I mean, the Matrix kind of did what Dragon Ball did. Like, Matrix Revolutions at the end. They're flying around fighting in midair, and that's pretty much Dragon Ball Z, So...
But it develops. Like, it's not like they just automatically just start doing that.
Yeah, it's a lot of fighting. And from what I understand in Dragon Ball, a lot of it is kind of on the ground. They fight and stuff. But, so, I mean, they could have made it look a little realistic. Maybe like some John Wick type stuff, but John Wick hadn't been invented yet.
Yeah.
Which it is kind of funny in the very opening scene of Dragon Ball, when Goku attacks Bulma's bike, she starts shooting at him with a gun. Like this little kid, she shoots at him and he's so quick he doesn't get hit. Or
wow.
I think he does, and he's like, ow, that hurt. And she's like, what the? You didn't die? I'm like, were you trying to kill him?
Oh my goodness. But yeah, he found a loophole, I guess, dodging.
Yeah. So Chi-Chi comes out and they start talking, and Goku, of course, only being at school for one day, is terrible at talking with people. And he's like that girl in American Pie. He's like, and one time my grandpa said, like one time at band camp, one time my grandpa said, she's talking like, basically what happens is that she knows of her ki, and she is like a trained fighter as well, because we see her in a tournament a little bit later.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a real serial killer line, because he's bad at conversation, and Chi-Chi's like, well, you've never done this before, have you? And Goku's like, 1,000,000 times. In my head.
Oh.
I'd be like, oh, what else are you doing in your head? Oh, God.
Oh, we don't need to know.
But this is where we get the line where he's like, oh, everything is going to be explained by my grandpa. And he says he'll explain everything when I'm 18. And boy, howdy, that's today.
Yeah, but I'm ditching him to be with a girl. Isn't that an 18-year-old kind of thing to do?
Well, what we didn't see when Goku left is his grandpa being like, again, open-minded teenage girls who wouldn't be opposed to dating an old man. Tell them I've got money. It's not true, but let them know. And so back at the house, Gohan is getting the shit kicked out of him by, her name is Mai, Boob Woman,
Yeah.
Boob Window Woman. King Piccolo shows up, tortures Grandpa. He realizes the Dragon Ball is not there and leaves, and then he crushes the house, brings it right down on Gohan.
Which we didn't explain Piccolo. He's like a green guy.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm assuming a lot of people just know. Yeah, Piccolo is like a green dude. He's got kind of Spock from Star Trek ears, and he's got these two antennae coming out of his head.
And he crushed his house and everything, Piccolo did, with his bare hands.
Yeah, he's using his ki.
Oh, boy.
He turned his ki to make that house go down.
And then Goku is all like, I guess he's got like spidey senses. He's so connected with his uncle. Just,
Yeah.
Some people say that's not right. But,
Well, there is an explanation for that. A lot of them can sense the other's power.
okay, see?
So,
If you don't know what, you just assume something awful.
yeah, in Dragon Ball Z, when they first start, the Saiyans land on the planet trying to find Goku since he's one of them. Are you still okay? He's still awake? I don't know why. It's weird. Whenever I start going into depth, you just look away. But when the Saiyans land, they have this like power thing that they can sense people's powers. It's like a thing that goes over their ear and over their eye. And as they go on later, they're able to just sense each other's power. So like Goku, whenever he powers up, they're like, oh, I can sense him all the way over here. He's really going crazy over there. So, Your Honor, there is precedence for this. That Goku probably sensed that his grandpa's power was maybe fading. But, yeah, he gets there and Gohan's like, Piccolo has returned for the Dragon Balls. He's like, who's Piccolo? And he's like, here's the DVD set of Dragon Ball. Watch these. And Grandpa dies and Goku buries him at the base of an orange tree. Again, another serial killer type thing where he's like, the orange tree is going to grow right here next to your body. So when I eat these oranges, I'll be like eating you.
Ew. And I'm sure like in real life, I don't know who governs this, but they don't just like you burying bodies wherever you want.
Yeah, I mean, this again, and I need to kind of follow up on stuff here, but like, is this kind of like a futuristic Japan or like alternate world Japan kind of?
Maybe.
Because they have futuristic like vehicles, flying vehicles, cars and stuff like that, but Goku and Dragon Ball is living in the middle in BFE. So we're in the middle of nowhere, and and Goku can really just bury his body however he wants, I guess.
I mean, I guess so. It just, he's not like a cat.
Yeah, and I'm sure he doesn't even understand the laws at this point. Like, well, Grandpa never told me about laws.
He doesn't understand the world.
Yeah.
So I guess, that makes sense.
So he's in the broken down house and he finds his orange jumpsuit, which Goku wears all the time in the anime. And he's like, I'm going to save this for the final battle. That'll come back. And he finds Bulma, who has broken into his house. I guess you can't really break into a house if it's already destroyed.
Yeah, she just kind of walked in.
Yeah, because she has, in the anime, a dragon radar, which I don't think they even say here, but it helps her find Dragon Balls.
Yeah.
And talking about how kiddish the show can be, do you want to know what her wish was when she found the Dragon Balls? She wants to find a boyfriend.
What?
I know, it's for kids, I know.
I mean, I guess.
But in this movie, she says she wants to find the Dragon Balls so she can become famous. Which, I would assume they never talk about it, but she works for a gigantic company her dad is the head of. I would think that she would already be famous. Her dad is the head of Capsule Corp in the show, and I think they're probably million to billionaires. So I'm like, wouldn't you already be famous? Like, oh, the daughter of the head of Capsule Corp.
Yeah, and she invented this ball finder thing.
Yeah, she's very smart. She's inventing stuff and everything in the show, but yeah, she's like, I want to be famous. I'm like, I'm sure you already would be. Yeah. But, it's better than like, I want a boyfriend.
Yeah, she's like, I want to be famous and not really have to work at it.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I get that.
Which, again, your dad's already super famous. I don't think you have to work at it very much.
True.
Your dad invented machines that would probably change the face of the earth.
Yeah.
So, anyway, this movie is not great on its writing, but she said that she did have a Dragon Ball, and it was stolen from her, and we see Boob Lady stealing it from her big corporation laboratory. And she finds the one that Goku has, and she's like, that's mine. And he's like, no, if you look at it, mine... Well, this may be just the anime. I'm getting them confused since I've been watching Dragon Ball. But he's like, mine is the 4-star, and you said yours is the 5-star, so they're not the same.
Mm-hmm.
And in the anime, she's like, oh my god, there's more? And he's like, yeah, of course there's more. You didn't know that?
I thought you said that in the movie, too.
Okay, good. Yeah, this is the... okay, so we watched this we were quite a bit ahead, so we watched this a few weeks ago at this point.
Yeah.
And I've been watching the Dragon Ball anime, and I'm like, did that happen in the movie or did that happen in the anime? But yes, she's a little surprised that there's more. And he's like, well, we can use this radar to find them all. And I think when Grandpa Gohan died, didn't he tell Goku to find Master Roshi?
Yes.
Okay.
He did.
Okay. We're basically, this is how the movie was written, by the way. Like, so Goku goes and finds Master Roshi. How does that sound? How does that sound, everybody? Yeah, that's a page of dialogue. We can get out of here for the night.
Sure.
And so Goku's like, we'll team up, we'll find Master Roshi, and we will find them Dragon Balls to get you a boyfriend, make you famous.
Yeah. So you can have a boyfriend.
So they're in like a city now at this point, and this is kind of a nod to the anime as well. Goku's eating like a gigantic like chicken leg or some kind of leg, while Bulma is trying to find Master Roshi, but Master Roshi's not listed, you know? He paid that money to have his name taken out of the yellow pages.
Mm-hmm.
But Goku can sense him. And he's like, oh, I sense my grandpa somewhere, and it's Master Roshi's house.
Holy cow.
Which this movie, by the way it looks terrible. Like, it is all CGI green screen.
Yeah.
From what I understand, they filmed, like, most of it green screen, so when they get to Master Roshi's house, you can just tell it's all not there.
Yeah.
They're just standing there and like, all right, use your imaginations that there's this really big house in front of you. And, you know, they go into his house looking for this Dragon Ball, and Goku does like the Naked Gun type thing where he knocks over a bunch of stuff and tries to catch it so he doesn't wake up Roshi. And he misses one little pebble of these rocks he knocks over, and Chow Yun Fat, who is an amazing martial artist, huge name in the, you know, the Asian cinema, and he's pretty big here too, of course, but he made his name in Asian cinema back there before he came over to English cinema. Just debasing himself being in this movie.
Yeah, poor guy.
And it's funny because Master Roshi is a little bald white man with sunglasses on the whole time, and he's tiny. And Chow Yun Fat's got like beautiful hair. He is wearing kind of the Hawaiian shirt that Master Roshi wears, but they fight. Goku's getting his butt kicked for a bit, and then he decides to use this. They are saying it later. He's using this air bending, which that's a completely different anime or cartoon.
Oh, wow.
Avatar: The Last Airbender. I'm like, boy, somebody's gonna get sued off of this shit because like. He's like, oh, I recognize that technique. That's Gohan's technique. Yeah, I taught it to him. And where is that old bastard at? And he's like, oh, he's dead.
Like, oh, you think he would be able to sense that?
I know. This movie, you know, it's only convenient. Like, sometimes Goku can sense it, but Roshi, who is more powerful than Goku at this point, can't. It doesn't make sense. Another thing that's terrible about Master Roshi in this movie is they are making Chow Yun Fat wear blue contacts for some reason.
Oh.
So I always wanted to have super blue eyes. My eyes right now are kind of like a bluish green, but I just wanted super blue eyes, and I always was like, oh, maybe when I get older I can get contacts that make your eyes super blue. They don't look natural.
Mm-hmm.
There's this guy at work where I used to work at who had brown eyes, and every now and again he would have blue, and you could just be like, that's fucking weird. There's something wrong with them. They don't look natural, so I'm glad I never tried it.
That is so unnatural.
Yeah, so this is exactly what's going on, where it's like, I'm sorry, Master Roshi, one second. Are you wearing blue contacts? Did you kill somebody in like 4 states over and you're trying to change? Like, oh, the killer had brown eyes.
Yeah, so they'll look at you and be like, oh, you match everything but the eye color. Oh, must not be you.
Well, it's funny if they had a post. Well, this is kind of something stupid they would do, but if they were like, well, there's a murderer from another state over, and they had a poster and it looks exactly like he does in the anime, like this little old bald white man. Well, of course, that's not me. And Goku, they find the Dragon Ball. Goku's able to sense it, and he touches it. And every time he's touching these balls, every time he touches these balls, he gets flashes of like his grandpa standing in a field.
Oh.
And we get more
visions.
Visions. And so we get more and more of this as he touches more balls.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, they all agree to get together again, and they're like, oh, great, we'll find all the Dragon Balls, because, Piccolo's here. He's gonna kill some people, and it's gonna be bad if he gets all the balls. So we're gonna find them all first.
They got to do something.
Which I was thinking, wouldn't it be smart? Piccolo is finding them super fast. We see him here in a minute, like blow up a lake and get to the bottom of it and find a ball. Wouldn't it be smart to hold on? They've got one or two now. Hold on to them. Let Piccolo come to them.
And then ambush him.
Kick him in the back of the ass and then take them all and wish.
Damn, that's smart.
They're going to have to fight him anyway because Piccolo's got him.
Yeah.
Just be like, let that guy do all the hard work.
No joke.
That would be the best way. It's if Dragon Balls really existed, that's what we would do. We'd find one and be like, they're going to be coming.
They got to be coming. So we're going to start setting shit up, blowing shit up.
Set the traps and get the gun. This is a little bit of a nod to the anime here where they start leaving. Master Roshi is like riding on the back of Bulma's bike. She's not too happy about it, but Goku is made to wear all of the gear on his back and run beside them the whole time.
Yeah.
Which, when Goku does train with Master Roshi is called the Turtle Hermit because he's always wearing this turtle shell on his back. But they make Goku wear one, and it's like super heavily weighted. So at the end of like a year, when he's done his training, he takes it off and he can like jump super high because he was like weighted down.
Holy cow.
I don't think that works. So don't try that, kids. Don't try and like weigh yourself down for a year and then just stop and then try to jump as high as you can.
And there should be no kids listening right now. So just anybody.
Yeah, it's not E for entertainment or not E for education.
No, certainly not.
And another nod to the anime here is that Master Roshi, not as much as he is in the anime, but he is a horn dog.
Yeah, he is.
The Bulma, when they're looking for the Dragon Ball, finds his girly mags, and he's horned up. And in the anime, by the way, he has a Dragon Ball, and in order to get it, Bulma flashes him.
Oh.
Yeah, not the T's, but the V.
Oh.
And he gives her the Dragon Ball, and she realizes after the fact that she did not have underwear on. And she's like, oh my god, I can't believe I just...
Wow.
Yeah, I tell you, I'm reading Berserk now as well. And these Japanese anime mangas, there's an undertone of horniness throughout them all.
I thought this was like a child's cartoon thing.
Well, if I can remember correctly...
Is it just insinuated that she flashed?
Well, I think it's
her
edited... Well, not in... You see her butt in the one I watched.
Oh.
But in what I watched on TV when I was a kid, I'm pretty sure it was animated. Or, like, edited.
Okay. Woo.
There's this girl who wins the tournament by flashing people. And it just doesn't show it in what I watched as a kid.
Okay. Because, like, parents with, like, older kids now that used to watch this are probably freaking out. Like, what did I let my kids watch?
Yeah, because Goku touches her area down there as a little boy.
Wow.
He's like, what is this? He's like, there's nothing there. And, I'm just like...
I've got something there. Why don't you?
Yeah, he's like, that is weird. And he's not, like, touching her. He's just kind of like... She has her underwear on and stuff. But he's, like, patting, like, ooh, what? This is weird. As a little boy would, I bet. But
exploring.
Yeah, but... There's some horniness in there.
Wow.
That kind of gets dropped as Dragon Ball Z happens, but it's horny.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, speaking of tournaments, they do run into now where they think a Dragon Ball is, and they find this tournament happening. One of the big things of Dragon Ball, and kind of phased out into the later series, is that there's this big world tournament where everybody can come from far away. They see Chi-Chi is training for it. They find her here, and she's like, oh, hey, how's it going? Yeah, I'm training for this now.
Isn't this when whoever she's fighting cuts her? Because that comes into play later.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, because we do see Piccolo's number one, when they're at the tournament it's actually going on. She does, they're fighting, she's fighting Chi-Chi, and she does, like, cut her.
Yeah.
And leaves like a
like I got what I needed. Bye.
Yeah, you're like, what's gonna happen there? So we cut to, after the tournament's all over. I think this is where Goku's training with Master Roshi here. They're driving in like a truck, and Goku is like standing on his head, if I remember right, in the back of this pickup truck. It looks bad anyway. But basically what happens is they fall into a big giant cavern on the road.
Mm-hmm.
And we meet another character from the anime. His name is Yamcha. He is like this bandit, which is kind of true how they first meet him in the show. What they don't have is he has a flying little cat
Oh,
named Pilar, I think. Oh boy, it's been a while.
that would have been cute.
Yeah, and but he's a bandit, and he is holding them in this little pit hostage until they can, they pay him money to get out.
Yeah, which, okay, so they're down there for a while. And even Goku tries to climb and falls.
You know who I thought of when I saw this? Because Goku tries to jump as high as he can, and it made me think of Odin. I'm pointing to him right here. When you give him a T word, like we call them T words, treats. Because he'll jump as high as he can, almost up to the counter when you give it like over and over, like and that's what I imagined Goku was when he was doing that. He's like
And he's a chihuahua, so
exactly.
he jumps pretty high.
But I think go ahead. I think I know what you're gonna say.
But Roshi, like all of a sudden, he can jump just like right out of the hole.
He gets out of the pit, and it. Like I said later in the series, they all start flying. But yeah, Roshi just gets right out.
It was so weird because they're like literally building a fire down there, and like, okay, we're gonna have to figure out what we're gonna eat, and then he just oh yeah, I forgot. I can actually just jump right out of here.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think he was just waiting for the moment or something, or hoping maybe Goku could get out. But while they are waiting before he does that, we do get a little bit of the story of Piccolo, where he's there at night, have a little campfire going, and Roshi's like, "Oh, Piccolo and his number one Ozu." If I'm saying that right, my notes here corrected it to Ozark every time.
Which Ozu translates to big booby woman.
Does it really?
No.
I was like, what? I thought it was like ape. I wouldn't be shocked, but I'm like, wow. You see, my friend Justin, by the way, does that all the time to me, and I'm just like, are you serious? And he's like, no. I was like, God, you sounded so serious.
Oh, that's funny.
But he tells him the story of that, yeah, Piccolo had a number one, Ozu, and, Ozu was going to destroy the whole world, and all these monks came together, and they banished him, and if Piccolo gets the Dragon Balls, he's going to wish Ozu back. But basically the whole thing is that, like, yeah, we got to banish Piccolo, got to banish his disciple, and this is where Master Roshi jumps out. He bargains with Yamcha, because he's like, oh, there's a Dragon Ball behind this wall. We need your help, getting through it because we need the ball.
Yeah, he's got a drill.
And we cut to Piccolo on his ship, and he is getting, like, his blood pumped out of him to make monsters, which, if I remember right, does happen in the anime. But they don't look like these Power Rangers monsters that comes out of him here.
Oh, yeah.
They're in the cave, and they come across this big lava lake, and this Dragon Ball is just, like, sitting on a little platform all the way across the lava when they all start getting assaulted by Power Ranger monsters,
which are just god awful. They're so bad you can't even see them up close. Like, they're just like quick little glances.
Yeah, that's probably like, well, these look like shit, so show them for a second.
Yeah.
But long story short, Goku is like taking these things and throwing them in the lava, and he makes like a little step bridge with them so he can like step across and get the Dragon Ball.
Which I had a really big problem with because
yeah.
lava is fucking hot. Like, hot.
Yeah.
So you come in
hot.
Anywhere near it, it is going to burn your skin off your freaking bones.
That's just how strong they are. I mean, don't, you're going to question getting close to lava in a movie where there's a big green guy and balls that can grant you a wish. but it does, yes, it is dumb. In real life, Goku would be dead.
I don't know. Like, I get it. It's a movie. It doesn't have to be real.
Yeah, but,
it just got to make sense to me. And that doesn't make sense.
As he grabs this Dragon Ball, he gets a flash, and it's like, oh, the power to prevent the end is inside of you, and Boob Window Woman steals the Dragon Ball. I'm like, well, how did she get here? Why didn't they just come the way she did? But
yeah.
I guess she found the path across or whatever, but she steals the Dragon Ball, punches Goku in the face, but it doesn't stop him. He stops her fist with his face. he blocks it with his chin, and she runs away. Like, oh my god. Goku does tell everybody here, he's like, oh, the flash I got from this one told me that Ozu will kill everyone unless we stop him. And Roshi's like, I thought I said that already. Yes, for God's sakes, Ozu's gonna kill everybody. And so this is where Roshi's like, well, instead of going over the entire fucking planet, we could have tried this other thing where we go to these monks and they make like a little special spell to contain them. And they're like, well, why didn't you tell us that?
Yeah.
You know how long it takes to travel across the world?
But this thing that the monks do is pretty much going to kill him, right? Kill Roshi?
Yeah, well, that's something I did read about today, trying to catch up on in the anime. The evil containment wave does end up killing one of the guys who uses it to contain Piccolo the very first time.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I guess so. So we cut to Ernie Hudson. God damn it. Why are you in this movie, Ernie Hudson?
Man, I just don't understand.
He must have kids that love the show or something.
Maybe.
But he's playing a monk, and he's like, oh, hey, Roshi, what's going on? And he's like, the prophecy is real, man, and we need the containment vessel. And yeah, Hudson here is like, well, that'll take all of your life force. And he's like, well, shit happens.
Yeah, so be it. That's my destiny.
I do have it in my notes. This is where Chi-Chi gets scratched at the tournament. And
yeah, I realize that too.
that's fine. You could just exchange any scene in this movie.
Yeah, you really can. It works.
Goku, grabs her after she gets scratches, and he's like, I am here for you.
Oh, boy. And I think that she does go with them now.
Now to the monk's place. Yeah, she is hanging out there.
Yeah.
And we get a quick scene of Bulma and Yamcha walking around some market, and they kiss. They almost kiss, excuse me.
Right. There's just a lot of...
Will they, won't they?
Yeah.
Which they do get together for a bit in the anime. And so now Roshi's teaching Goku the final level of airbending. And I'm like, airbending? How can you get away with that? That's the fucking main plot of Avatar: The Last Airbender. But he's like, is the Kamehameha wave. You have to channel your ki through you and release it. And he's like, now I want you to light all these torches, and I'll see you later. And there's a bunch of lamps around him.
Mm-hmm.
He is trying and failing, and he's going to cheat to light them, but Chi-Chi comes in and is like, I tell you what, we're about 7 paces away from each other. There's 7 lamps. Every time you light one of these lamps with the Kamehameha wave, I will take a step closer. And I think there's even something where he's like, well, what's going to happen when you get close to me? And she's like, well, we'll just have to figure that out. Dumbass.
Yeah, you idiot.
It's like in Billy Madison, where he's training for the test, and his teacher takes off a piece of clothing every time he gets something right, and he gets one right, and it cuts, and one of them is Chris Farley, and he's like, that is correct, and he takes off his shirt. He lights all the torches, and they kiss, and Goku turns all the lights off. So
there you go.
Use your imagination as to what happens next.
Boom. That whole scene took 5 minutes, but it really could have just taken a couple seconds.
Yeah. She touches his leg to start something, and he Forrest Gumps in his pants. Because that's what happens in that movie when they're making out. A flashback to Forrest Gump, by the way. They're making out, and he's like, oh, boy. Oh, God. And it's
you referenced that movie, I think, in our last episode.
Well, just because she had the Forrest Gump haircut.
Yeah. That's right.
Every movie ties back to Forrest Gump. It's like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. 6 degrees of Forrest Gumping. So Bulma wakes up later that night, and she sees Chi-Chi coming around the corner out of Goku's room, and they're like, well, I'll be damned. And I think Yamcha even has a line of I didn't think he had it in him.
Yeah, I was even kind of shocked. I'm like, whoa, that kiss really went somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure Chi-Chi was like, oh, nothing happened. Oh, have you seen Forrest Gump? I touched his leg. It was over. It was very disappointing. I forget how it starts here, but basically this is an alternate Chi-Chi. The both of them start fighting. The real Chi-Chi and the other Chi-Chi. And there's a fire starts in the monastery. Goku rolls through it to get to the other side. It's very funny. You get that whole kill them, not me. I'm not the evil one. He's the evil one.
And he just, I don't know. I was expecting him to ask a question that only the real Chi-Chi would know.
Yeah. When you touched my leg tonight, what happened?
But he didn't. He just kind of like, any, mini, miny, mo. Okay, we got it.
Yeah, if he was like, how was the sex we had tonight? And the evil one's like, it was great. He's like, that's the evil one.
Because we didn't have sex.
Yeah, I disappointed the hell out of you. But what is even funnier here is that he punches one thinking it's evil and it is the real one.
Yeah, that's why I was like, just.
He's like, fuck you. And he's like, oh my God.
He didn't even try.
Yeah. So the evil one turns into my boob window woman and she escapes.
Yes.
With the Dragon Ball.
And then I don't remember when we figure it out, but it's because she took her blood that she
Yeah.
was able to mimic her.
Something or other. Blood. Blah, 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 blah. I think we do get she does shoot Goku before she steals the balls. And I had a note here where I'm like, how can she transform into other people? Why does that happen? We don't get an explanation. We're just like, oh, well, I guess she can do that then. Evil technology. And Goku does get a flash here where he does get to talk to Grandpa Gohan for a little bit longer. And he has the funniest line of the movie where Goku sees him and he goes, Grandpa, I'm so happy to see you. And I'm like,
Oh boy.
and Grandpa's probably like, boy, I was hoping after I dropped him on his head as a baby, nothing would have happened. But boy, something happened.
Yeah, it definitely damaged something.
And, Master Roshi Kamehameha shocks Goku back to life. Ernie Hudson ends up giving Roshi the containment device, and he was like, we'll meet again on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, well, Piccolo must be going to the Dragon Temple with all the Dragon Balls. He pulls out the script. This says he's going to the Dragon Temple, so let's go to the Dragon Temple and fight him.
Which, I don't know why I put in my notes. I called him Green Goblin from here forward.
Yeah, I know. If you're not familiar with the names, you just and I do that too. Like I've said, Mai is the evil second in command's woman's name, but I've been calling her Big Boob Window Woman.
Hey, that's okay.
Because she's wearing like a leotard that just has nothing but a window for her boobs to show.
But he's got all 7 balls now.
Yeah. Yeah, so they're all ready to go. Yamcha, Goku, Roshi, and Bulma are all heading to the Dragon Temple to stop him. Piccolo does gather the Dragon Balls to activate them. Yamcha, who is driving this car, does activate it to fly, and he flies like right into them. And Piccolo and Roshi shoot like colorful energy at each other. Which, I mean, happens here and there in the show, of course. But they shoot energy at each other and the Dragon Balls scatter. So to prevent him from making his wish.
Yes.
And while they're in the car, Goku's like, I hate this trope in movies where, like, you want to see them wearing, like, their iconic outfit and stuff, and they don't get it until the very end.
Yeah.
Which seems like it's exactly what's going to happen in this new Crow movie. It doesn't seem like he may be wearing the Crow makeup until the very end.
Really?
That's from what I got from the trailer, because he looks normal throughout the whole thing.
Oh, man.
Minus all of his tattoos. I don't know why we do that now. Like, the Suicide Squad Joker started a bad trend where they're like, oh, well, these guys are really badass. You know how we know that? They've got tattoos everywhere.
Yeah, that's different. Yeah, sure. 10, 20 years ago, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
It was like that. But now, I mean, you see somebody with tattoos, it's just like an everyday occurrence.
Yeah.
It just happens.
Or he looks like a YouTube rapper or something like that, Which, in the original Crow, Eric was a musician, so that would suck if in the new one, Skarsgård is like a YouTuber or like a rapper with all those stupid tattoos he's got.
Oh, no.
That would suck.
Oh, no.
Which, we've got tattoos. I just mean, like, the ones on him look bad.
Right. Yeah, they're just... yeah.
And the Joker has ones on his face. He has one on his head that says damaged, so give me a break. But... anyway, Goku finally puts on his orange and blue outfit saying he's going to beat Piccolo. This outfit does not look like anything like Goku's. I mean, it's like way too tight on him. It just looks very weird and shit.
It didn't look comfortable.
No, I think he's got like blue pants, which in the anime he's got like an orange suit, orange pants, orange outfit, and a blue belt. But this, yeah, it doesn't look like it very much at all. Mm-hmm. And surprise, surprise, do you want to know who the second in command to Piccolo was? Ozu, all along, his disciple, was Goku somehow.
What?
Yeah, Goku, he's like, Piccolo's like, oh, when the blood moon rises here for this eclipse, you will turn into my disciple Ozu.
Oh
And
yeah, I know he was turning. I didn't realize it was to be his number 2.
I don't know. I don't know. We get some super fast dialogue here where it says Goku travels by meteor to Earth and was going to destroy this world on his 18th birthday. So he may not have been Ozu, but that's kind of the anime. As Goku is a Saiyan, they do have tails and transform into gigantic monkey monsters
Okay.
that destroy, and they are sent to different planets to destroy. But this kind of sounds like Piccolo is in charge of it.
I see.
So the eclipse happens and Goku turns into like a monkey demon, nowhere near as big as he is in the anime. He's kind of just a little bit of a bigger monkey.
Yeah.
Bulma escapes, Master Roshi and Piccolo fight. Piccolo ends up destroying the containment unit, so oh boy, we're fucked there. And eventually it all comes down to saying, Roshi's like, Ozu can't be beaten with fists, and he ends up talking Goku down, like, it's okay, you took too much. Here's some orange slices. It's gonna be fine, man. Just go to your happy place. And yeah, Goku turns back into his regular old self. And Piccolo, when he sees him fight and turns back into a human, Piccolo's like, that's impossible.
Oh no.
And Goku is like, my grandpa said at the start of this movie, the first rule is, there are no rules.
Yeah.
And Bulma and Mai in the background have been fighting each other. It's a mess. This all looks like just a fucking mess.
It's all over the place for sure.
It's super dark, and Bulma, she has little capsule thingies that turn into bikes, as we kind of said, but she throws one at the boob lady. She's about to be killed, but Yamcha knocks her out and saves her. So,
Aw.
Goku and Piccolo are like shooting energy at each other here, and Goku has the line, I am Goku. I am Ozu. I must be one with two. I must have faith with myself.
Oh.
And he charges up his Kamehameha wave, beats Piccolo. Piccolo's gone. That's it. And Roshi in the background here. This again, I'm telling this terribly, but Roshi has been killed in the background by Piccolo
Yes.
at some point.
Yeah, some point that happened.
And so Piccolo's gone. And they're all very sad that Master Roshi has died. And they're like, oh, God, well, I wish we could bring people back to life. Wait a second.
Oh.
Wait a second.
We have a wish.
If only we had some sort of balls that could make us wish for things. They get the Dragon Balls together, and Goku's like, Dragon! The test of 7 has been fulfilled! And the dragon shows up, which in the show, the dragon is insanely large. He's like kind of spiraling back in on himself. He hovers over the area. I mean, he's big. And in this, he's just kind of like tiny little dragon because they didn't have the money for it, I guess.
Probably not.
And they're like, they bring Roshi back to life, which you said right here. They pet cemetery him.
Yeah, it's so funny because he's been dead for a little bit.
Yeah.
Right. So if your brain doesn't get oxygen, it dies.
Well, it's a wish, so it doesn't matter, I suppose.
I guess if you wish for someone to come back to life, I guess they just come back to their original state. But I'd be like, he's probably coming back to life, but he's going to be brain dead.
Yeah, or like you said, pet cemetery. He's evil.
Yeah.
That sometimes dead is better. But they use this trope quite a bit in the show where a lot of them will get murdered or some of them will get killed, and they'll be like, it's okay, we'll just bring them back with the Dragon Balls. But yeah, they bring Roshi back with the Dragon Balls, and Goku and Chi-Chi are all laughing, and she's like, oh yeah, I beat you before. And he's like, oh, I let you win. And she's like, are you fucking kidding me? I totally kicked your ass. And he's like, I bitch slapped you down when I thought you were evil. But she's like, well, let's settle this. We, for some reason, cut back to them in the tournament ring. They start flying at each other, and it ends right there.
Mm-hmm. But wait.
There's more.
There's more.
Post-credit scene, we see the woman from the village earlier who gave the Dragon Ball to Piccolo. Very long of her, like, walking down this hallway.
Yes.
She's, like, getting tea or water or something in the kitchen for, like, 10 minutes, and then she walks down this hallway, goes into this room, and we see Piccolo.
Yeah,
and
with like a towel on his head, and
Yeah, it's like dun 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 dun.
Wow.
Which in the anime, Goku does kill Piccolo by flying directly through him. He flies so fast that he goes through his stomach, killing him.
Wow.
And Piccolo like shoots his essence out through an egg, like out of his mouth, which becomes Piccolo Jr., who ends up becoming like one of their best friends later on. But yeah, Goku fucking flies right through him. So
Wow, I'll be damned.
So that was very hard to talk about because that movie sucked ass.
It was a lot. Let me tell you. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say didn't like it.
No,
Well,
and I like if you haven't listened to Rebel Moon Part 2, go back, do that. We kind of talk about Dragon Ball Evolution at the end on which one we like better. And Rebel Moon was just fun to talk about.
Yeah, it's fun to watch and make fun of and talk about what we didn't like about it. This was just hard because I'm like, this sucks.
It was just so silly at times, and sometimes it just didn't really quite click, I think.
Yeah, and the animation is very bad. The CGI is very bad.
Yeah, it was just overall a bad movie.
Yeah. And the balls on them, I said it at the end of Rebel Moon, the balls of Zack Snyder to set up a sequel, the absolute balls on them here to set up a sequel to this movie.
Yes.
Just lets you know that they have no idea. They'd be like, well, it's a Dragon Ball movie. Of course people are going to love it. We got to set it up for another one. Like, did you watch the movie even?
Which this was made in 2009. They haven't came with anything yet, right?
Not live action, I don't believe so. No, they've done new animated shows and stuff, but this pretty much killed the live action. Which, when I heard they were making a live action movie back in the day, I'm like, how the hell are they gonna do this? Like, there is so much here. There's no way they could make it, and they couldn't.
Do you think they could today with technology improving?
Maybe if it was a 70 season TV show. Maybe if it was like Doctor Who.
Oh, so you can actually get to know the characters and stuff?
Yeah, it would probably have to be like Doctor Who, which has been going since the 60s. If they did it like that, like, people's grandchildren's are finally watching, Dragon Ball still on the air, then maybe they would have a decent show. But there's so much.
And maybe make it rated R.
Yeah. They could make it like PG-13. The show's kind of like a PG-13.
Okay.
But I don't want to make it like where they're saying fuck all the time, That'd be kind of dumb. But
or like having sex with each other all the
yeah,
time.
make it like a PG-13 because, they do get fucked up when they fight.
Yeah, okay.
So, yeah, but that's it. That's all for this movie, thank God.
That's all, folks. Thank you again for everyone for listening. If you've enjoyed this episode, please spread the word by telling a friend or rating us on your favorite platform. If you give us a 5 stars on iTunes, just leave your name and where you're from, and we'll give you a shout out on our next episode. You can also follow us on Instagram or Facebook, and you can email us thefilmobsessedcouple@gmail.com.
Great. Well, we thank you for your support. Now, a little funny story, very quick. I know you're already getting your coats on, ready to go. But basically we were supposed to be talking about the Super Mario Brothers movie right now.
Yes, we were.
When we went to watch it, we found that it's nowhere able to stream or buy to watch online. So I ended up buying it. It was like $5 on Amazon. We had a couple of dollars of credit, thankfully. But we bought the DVD, so we will be talking about the 90s Super Mario Brothers movie with Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo.
Nice.
Have you seen that one before?
I think so.
Okay. So, from one shitty movie to the next, we'll see you next time with Super Mario Brothers.
Bye-bye.